I'm looking forward to the new Elder Scrolls whenever that will be out, because I know they are working on the 6th one.
Yeah,
that'll be some point.
I'm hoping they've learned their lesson and put it in a nice new engine that they can use. But I reckon at this point people don't. You've got the two choices really. You do Epic's Unreal Engine or what's the other one? Is it Unity?
Yeah,
Unless
I think
you start building your own.
everyone's going to go for Unreal because Unreal Engine 5 is coming out next year.
Yeah, it looks great, but obviously
it looks amazing.
It depends on what an art team can do and whether. So, funnily enough, here is Diagon Alley, which is not actually, I don't think, featured in the PC version.
Is this Diagon or is it Nocturne?
We're still in Nocturne. No, we're in Diagon Alley.
Oh no, this is Diagon. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I reckon.
Is that supposed to be Ginny?
What have they done to Molly Weasley, and what have they done to Ginny?
Well, Ginny, for a start, is taller than Harry.
I always imagined Ginny to be kind of like tall and...
Yeah,
tall
but not in the
first...
Not in the second film when she's super young. She's what, 11?
No, that's fair. Yeah.
A copy of the Standard Book of Spells, Grade 2, from Flourish and Blots, and a new potion bar from Mole Peppers.
Well, let's all go to Flourish and Blots then. Oh, and you might need this. It fell into the hearth when you used the flu powder.
A silver sickle!
That's bigger than my face. Why is it so big?
Weasley. Come on, Harry. Let's go to Flourish and Blots.
Yes, let's. Excellent.
Let us go there.
Excellent. Let us get what we need and run into Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh.
Dun 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 dun. Oh man, I love the second film. Why can't we go to the ice cream parlor? That sounds great.
I know they flavor text by having all these cool places, but you can't go in any of them. I understand why they've done that, but still, it's pretty
disappointing
for the time as well. The areas look quite nicely rendered and well built.
We're going into the joke shop.
Ooh,
I want this. The second film. I think the second film doesn't get enough credit for how good that is. I think it's a very, very interesting... Jesus Christ, that pumpkin. I think it is a very, very good film. Very, very dark, actually.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I think it's definitely more, for me, nostalgia than it is being fantastic. I think it was still the actors sort of coming into their own in a lot of ways, but I'm not a film critic, so I'm not going to pull it apart.
4 sickles, alright, I'm going to need some more sickles.
You're welcome to try the magical measurer, but you'll need to know how to cast sickles.
Oh no, I failed. I guess I'll be back then.
This is the same voice as Hagrid, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell.
Excellent.
just put on a slightly different voice.
Good stuff.
So one thing to no, I'm just trying to look up.
Bean. Okay, good.
All the beans tend to just fall inside geometry that makes it very difficult for you to get hold of them.
Yeah, mildly disappointing.
It is. I would not disagree.
Well, this place is cool, but it doesn't have what we need. I was honestly hoping I could get some jokes, like joke items, but I don't know what purpose specifically. Just some joke items, but alas, not to be. Not this time.
So, another fun fact is, Stephen Fry is only in the European release. In the US release, It's the actor Jim Dale. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
But there was some weird inconsistencies. So in the PlayStation 2 version, outside of the US, especially the early editions, because there's multiple versions, the reading of some of the collector cards caused them to be read in the wrong voice, so it was Dale instead of Fry. So depending on which version this is, you'll know whether some of them are read with Dale's voice or Fry's voice.
Huh.
And the Mac version in the US basically alternates between the two of them depending on the cutscene. So it's just two narrators. Oh gosh.
Wow. How do you manage that?
Well, badly, I suppose. There probably wasn't a flag, and they just couldn't be. They just didn't have time to set them all to that.
The Standard Book of Spells.
Says Grade 2 by Miranda Goshawk.
Ah, now that would be one sickle.
I have a sickle. I'll take it.
Did it just make a cash register ka-ching noise?
It did. Sure did.
What do we learn from this one?
I guess we're about to find out.
Thank you. With the knowledge contained in this book, you'll be able to cast more powerful spells.
Oh, you can go
Excellent.
you can go back to the place now.
The book, just for you.
Oh,
The
right.
joke shop, yeah.
Oh, right. I've learned how to do that. I see.
But be careful.
I thought it was going to be something I actually learn at Hogwarts, like much later on. But I
Here's
see.
another fun one. So during the opening sequence in this game that we don't experience because we're instantly rescued by the Weasleys.
Mm-hmm.
Weasleys, that's their name, isn't it? They're the
Yeah.
Weasleys. Yeah.
They're the Weasleys.
So in the PC and Mac versions, there's an actual cutscene with Dobby and them rescuing him. Dobby appears and says, "Harry Potter must not go back to Hogwarts." In the PC and Mac versions, Hagrid is just stood inexplicably in the back garden of the house.
What?
Yep, he's just there chilling out, and it's like, excuse me, why is Hagrid watching as they? I don't know. I mean, it's a bizarre one.
That is weird. And did you say that's the PS1 version or PC?
No, it's the PC and
PC.
Mac editions.
Right. I was gonna say on the PS1 version are the characters still cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Oh wait, sorry. So what's still cursed?
Like the character models on the PS1 version.
Oh yeah, it's the PS1 version. Think of how the PS1 version for Philosopher's Stone looks, and that's exactly what this version looks.
Excellent.
There is some like tweaks, but I think it largely runs on the same engine. I assume because they wanted to get that game out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it does suffer. Like you can feel when you play the game that it was not the same effort gone into as the original.
And I'm sure I saw Hagrid when I lost my speller tape. So I think that must be in the Leaky Cauldron.
Alright.
Magical Menagerie, Gamble and Japes, and the Leaky Cauldron. Gossip.
Cool. Well, I've been into the Jape shop already, but
It is so
good to
kind
know.
of you to do this for
So
Ginny.
can I break the barrel now? For I'm a strongman.
So much.
You might be able to pop that thing as well in the joke shop, but I don't know about. You might be able to break the barrel.
Yeah. Yep. Literally just told me about the barrels. Cool. That makes sense.
You won't do much to the
Oh.
barrels if you cast the spell.
So could you just remind me when we spoke to Ginny,
Uh-huh.
what clothes was Ginny wearing?
Sickle.
Hogwarts clothes.
Why is
Why?
Ginny wearing Hogwarts clothes? No,
Yeah.
she's not. She's not. But in the GameCube and Xbox version, she's wearing Gryffindor robes, despite the fact she hasn't yet been
Oh.
sorted.
Oh, interesting. I see.
I remember playing on the GameCube and was like, why has Ginny been sorted despite the fact she has never been to Hogwarts
No.
before?
I mean, yeah.
Isn't that a little presumptuous, Ginny?
Yeah.
Mrs. Weasley?
Just because all of your brothers are in this house doesn't mean you're going to be. For all we know, you could be a Slytherin. So, yeah,
Yep.
no, just whatever.
Honestly, the world of these games are so interesting. Like I'm honestly surprised that they are as in sync as they are, considering that they were done by two like disparate teams. And working from home and stuff is a lot easier now than it used to be. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's very cool. And now
It is,
just
and
robbing this man.
It's like my fascination with like old games and things and old versions of things that you just can't play anymore. It's great.
Yeah, I mean they are fantastic games. It's great that I mean it's a testament to how good they are because people keep requesting them. They keep wanting to see.
I mean,
Someone else experience
honestly, I would say that they are not great games. No. Okay, so the first game on the PlayStation 1 is good, and a lot of the PS1 ones, a lot of the Philosopher's Stone ones are good, but I don't know what I feel about like Chamber of Secrets is good, but it depends which version, and I think. Yeah, after playing through Prisoner of Azkaban, I was really like let down by how I remember it being really good, and playing it again, I was like, this is a bit disappointing. I think the PC port I might have chalked up to be better because as soon as I started playing the GameCube one, I was like, oh, this is not as I remember it.
Right.
Why does that place look like a Legend of Zelda dungeon?
It does a little.
Would your stink pellets?
Do I need stink pellets?
They're helpful for distracting prefects.
Sure, I'll take some. I've got 10 of them now. And I
You
paid
can-
for them
Stink
by stealing from this man. So
Yeah. It's recycling.
all part of the plan.
All part of the
I could
all
survive.
part of the cake.
I'm gonna survive just by daylight robbery. I mean, to be fair, he let me into his back room by doing the test your strength machine. Not sure
Yep.
why everywhere has test your strength machine, but still.
I guess the Wizarding world is just a really macho place full of like toxic masculinity and stuff where everyone's trying to prove their worth through acts of one strength.
Yes, you're correct.
You're like, yes.
Robert Galbraith agrees.
So if we make some obscure references to a game, it was recently released a game called The Potter Game on PC,
Yes.
and you basically just need to play it.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's an experience, and it borrows heavily from these games.
And it is designed purely to take the piss out of a specific person.
Out of British culture, mainly.
Ginny said her brother-
That and I think the horrible workings of someone.
Why is this place creepy? Surely you don't want to go into a shop. Like, how would you feel if you walked into a shop and this music started to play?
I don't want to get out. I need to collect things. I will get in. I'm not. I'm breaking barrels. There is a mild difference. I mean, if you want me to bother your creatures, I can wear your creature. You know. And if you want me to, observe purple. Ow. What
I think you just bothered yourself. If you overcharge the spell, it will hurt you. Well, it won't hurt you, it'll knock you over.
I see. Am I not actually supposed to do anything here right now?
Well, can you open the door?
Oh. Yes. I see. Hello.
Didn't you hear me, boy?
Oh my god.
Said, we're closed now. Go away.
But I can help.
Kids today.
Oh, yes, he is definitely a certified old person.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I need to go in there.
I should be able to creep past him.
Oh, should I?
I'm desperate to get somewhere, so I'm going to literally trespass right now.
I should be able to creep past the terrifying man. What was that noise?
So this is getting you used to something you'll be doing a lot of in this game.
That noise was so funny.
I don't
Oh
like
my
him.
God, that was so funny. That was so over the top. It hurts. It hurts how over the top that was.
You know what it reminds me of?
Go on.
It reminds me of all of the sound effects from Kitchen Nightmares.
Okay, he's gone this way. Push it. Go. Go.
Come on. Yes.
Yes! I'm in!
I wouldn't count your chickens until you got through the door, because sometimes they'll hit. They can hit you through the. They can either hit you through the door, hit you on into the when you're at the door.
Oh, good. I look forward to that. It's going to be very entertaining. So this is why people wanted me to play it, because it's a pure stealth game.
Oh yeah,
Very
it's like
clever people.
it's like getting you to play Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, I've not played Metal Gear Solid 2. Maybe I
Have
should
you
at
played?
some point.
Have you played any of the Metal Gears?
I played 1, 4, and 5, and PSP.
Man, 2 and 3 are like what? 2 is fucking is so relevant to like today's problem.
Oh, really?
Like it's crazy.
I know you're here somewhere.
You're correct. I am.
I wonder if the noise of a spell might distract him.
Go nuts. Idiot. Idiot.
Pretty much.
I know you're here somewhere.
I am. I'm out the door. See ya, old man.
I just can't believe that the old man would be such a bad like. I know he's feeding the creatures, But like, either could we wait for him? If we waited for him needing to get the stuff, that would at least explain why we're late for the train.
Yeah, I
But
suppose.
yeah, sorry, the old grouchy man was not having any of it. He was feeding his
Whatever it was.
yeah.
Where is it we're going? Leaky Cauldron. Also, we need to go see... Was it this place? The apothecary? Yeah. What is an apothecary?
Apothecary. Oof. Gosh, now you're asking me. Let me. I know what it is, but I struggle to explain it. Let me type it in.
I've heard of the phrase apothecary table, but
It's a term for a medical professional who formulates and dispenses materia medica to physicians. What does materia medica mean? That's so. Oh, that's just a Wikipedia answer.
Excuse me, how much is
Oh,
the
it's just
potion
medicine.
vial?
So it's just people who like give medicine. So I guess you could call a pharmacy, possibly an apothecary,
Ah, okay.
because they do. Is it? You know what? I'm not too sure.
Okay, so I need
No,
8
no,
sickles. 8?
Yeah. No, an
Jeez.
apothecary is a pharmacist. Sorry. There we
I
go.
see. Okay, well, I'm not buying that right now.
Yeah. Well, you probably think that
Can
might
I
be on
go to
list
the
of things.
bank and just collect mountains of cash that is literally mine and is never mentioned ever past the first book?
Yeah. I mean, why not? I assume it's just because it'd be really boring to explain the fact he had to go and pick money out. But
Yeah.
I think it also. Did you get interest from keeping your money like that, or not? I don't know.
I guess it depends on what this world does with that kind of money. Maybe you do.
A silver
Is
sickle.
the time turner ever mentioned in the books beyond the third one?
Yes, there is a mention of the time turner, and it is used to explain something later on in the films.
Right. I was gonna say, because it doesn't show up in the films again.
No,
right
it
in the
doesn't.
book.
But I feel like it does.
Sickle.
Because, I mean, surely that could solve a lot of problems.
Apparently there aren't. So the one thing it doesn't understand is like the time turner themselves are like super rare, and there aren't many around, and they're really difficult to create as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
I mean, I can understand it being a complicated thing to create on the basis that it's literally a time travel device, but I mean, it's a fantastic use for it in the third book / film / whatever, but it does create a problem for, I guess, the later ones.
Excuse me.
So there is only a couple. So there's a couple of them, and there's a ton. There's not a couple of them. There's apparently a huge stock of them in I think it's the third
Brilliant.
book. So the fourth book. I think it's the Order of the Phoenix or the one afterwards, the Half-Blood Prince. There's a battle in the Ministry of Magic where they all become destroyed, but they
I
basically
see.
get stuck in an endless time loop. But that's just the British ones. But again, Harry Potter is quite centric to being British,
Yeah.
so we don't really understand how they interact with, other parts of the wizarding community and other parts of the world. So.
Yeah.
I thought they got mentioned again, like out of hand, but it seems like all the mentions end up in like 2020, which is the year I think canonically that that child book, that one,
The Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child, which I read the synopsis for, and it read like a bad fan fiction.
It
so
really does. It is incredible.
Someone told me about it. And I was like, I think it was on stream, and I was like, I was like, you're shitting me. This is not how it worked. Then I read it, and I was like, no, that's all right. Okay.
Yeah, I love that J.K. Rowling was just like, oh no, this is, I'm gonna endorse this. This is canon. Like, what?
I mean,
why would you endorse
Yeah,
it?
but she also thought that wizards basically would poop themselves before when Muggles made up toilets, flushing toilets, and they just pooped themselves, and then they'd magic it away.
Yes.
Which is ludicrous. Like, surely, because of how like soon it's been and how old wizards can live, you'd still find like Aunt Mabel would still be shitting herself and magicking it away. But then probably because of like old age, you'd imagine she'd just poop herself and forget about it, or I don't know, accidentally magic away half her bowels or something. Like, this is why I think it would be nice for for the creative stuff to be handed over to a group of people who could explore the interesting questions.
Yeah.
Like, what would an adult world of Harry Potter look like? What sort of, like, how would magic be used in, like, the interesting medical, like, science, and how, like, it's incompatible, and why it's incompatible. I don't know, I'm thinking too much.
I mean, there's a lot of really, really weird stuff you could do if they made it more adult.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Cursed Child tried to do, but all it did was just make it more inexplicably
I don't know if it
inexplicable, you
did.
know?
I think if it did, it failed massively in that regard. But
It definitely
hey
made it
ho.
more inexplicable. Like, I'd struggle to explain, like, what all that happened. It seems bizarre. There's a big hole in the wall.
Yes, I see. Here it is. Here's the leaky cauldron.
You've made it all the way back. Congrat.
I
A single
see.
congrat.
Thank you. You know what? That I needed that. Just one is
Just
one. Is
one.
good. One is
Oh,
really
my-
nice.
So, reading one of the greatest sources for the differences between versions is the Harry Potter fandom site for Chamber of Secrets. It is a fantastic resource if you're wanting to know the difference. But apparently the Mac version is awful. Oh, wow, he looks angry.
Yeah.
Fee fi fo fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Weasley looking for you. Hope you ain't been creeping round that nocturne alley. Terrible place. You best stay away.
It's not a terrible impression, actually.
No, he's always done a pretty good job.
See you again. Make yourself at
It's
home.
Bilbo.
Look around. The cellar is full of surprises.
Don't tempt me, Frodo. I actually can't remember anything Bilbo says.
Yeah, same. From Hobbit, I remember he goes, "I'm Baggins from Bag End," and that's about it.
I really don't like Martin Freeman.
I didn't mind Martin Freeman. I found the films boring.
Yeah, no. Oh, the films. We're not talking about the films. The films were just categorically, like, very much awful.
Excellent. Okay.
It was
good.
you know the line when Bilbo's like, "I just feel like too much, like butter spread over too much bread." Like, that is exactly the description of the films. Oh, so they play dominoes, or Rummikub, or whatever that is. They play drafts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm trying to find some sellotape. Oh, it's probably in this room.
Some spelotape.
I think yes, sellotape is a great pun. Absolutely.
That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. Of course it is. Did you expect anything more? Or anything less?
You know, I didn't expect it, but it's good. Absolute bastard.
Yep. Is there a single way
No!
of...
My coin!
That's fine, you can go back and get it.
What is this House of Horrors? Like, why is a pub so, like, evil?
Honestly, Voldemort could have killed you there by putting a big spiky pit, Mega Man style, and you would have just died.
Yeah. I mean, Mega Man style is a lot more kind to, like, I mean, that makes it just seem like you sort of just poof into some, like, sparkly circles, but what would actually happen is you'd just be left rotting away.
Lovely.
A huge spike in your face.
Lovely.
Yeah, I thought it was quite nice to be depicted about that kind of, like, you know, you really gotta talk about the true experience.
Moving back to the game, how are you finding the controls? 'Cause to me,
It's
it
fine.
sounds like you find them a little awkward.
I think they're fine. The only thing I don't like, and it's purely because I'm using an Xbox controller, is the R1, L1 buttons, because I hate the R1, L1 buttons on an Xbox One controller. They are
Alright.
incredibly stiff. But apart from that, it's great. Game's good.
Okay. I always found that, like, the characters move a little bit, like they've got warm down and, warm up and slow down, like, animations. But I always found that they just felt a little bit laggy. They're a little bit finicky in small spaces as well.
Feels fine. The jumping is a little more awkward than the PS1 game.
That's because they would just, like, careen themselves off and then, like, stick to walls. The jumping in
Yeah.
that game was surprisingly well done.
Yeah, it was. It was nice. Jesus Christ. Well, you nearly died. Well done. Good job, Harry. Why? Just why all of this?
Just to flesh out the game, really.
I mean, well, yes, but I mean, like, what has Harry done to deserve this?
I don't know, the boy who lived. A fun thing about, like, my relationship with this game is that distinctly remember on Christmas Day. It was one of the Christmases that my granddad was staying with us. He stayed with us for a couple of years, and this was one of those Christmas, and we got the GameCube. And the first two games we got with the GameCube were Super Smash Bros. Melee and this game. In fact, I still own the original copy of this game from that. And I have a fond memory of him helping me set up the console and that sort of stuff, and playing this on Christmas Day and getting to where you'll be getting to shortly. It's one of those fun little memories that you look back and go, "Oh yeah," and it's one of the reasons why this game has a place in my heart. But I think playing it back, I'm less favourable towards it. But it is a nice.
It's kind of like me with the PS2. The PS2 wasn't mine; it was my dad's. But I did get games for it, like Alpha Cortex for Crash and Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. And what's interesting with Jak and Daxter is I saw it in like HMV. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want this game. It's just trying to be a Crash game because it's a 3D platformer, and then I got it on like Christmas or birthday. I was like, oh, thanks, this is amazing. And I put it up. It's like, oh my god, it's Naughty Dog! Ah! And that's when I learned not to be a stupid piece of shit and just to enjoy the game. It's not copying. It's its own franchise, but also it's the same company. So
yeah.
But,
also, you missed your coin.
You're right. I did miss my coin.
But who cares? Who cares?
I really don't.
So was it one of those things where the next console that was bought in the house was that for you then? Was that the last console that your dad bought?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got my own PS2 a couple years later, I think, around 2003, 2004. And I got a Game Boy Advance. I got a Game Boy Advance for Easter one year, I think.
Wow.
I think it was because I don't know why. I think something happened, and my parents wanted to do something for it. And then the PS3 was I got that at launch, and that was purely mine. My dad stopped playing games because he got too frustrated. Is basically the answer. He played Gran Turismo 4 and he tried the like 24-hour endurance race, and he actually stayed up for 24 hours and he lost on the final corner. And there was another one, I can't remember what it was. Oh my god. Oh, his neck. I don't like his neck. He's really thin. Yeah, so I mean you'll understand this because you've been to my house, but we're 2 floors up, the windows were closed, and I was in the garden, or like the estate garden on the far end, and all I could hear was my dad screaming fucking cunt because he lost. But like it was so loud, but all the windows were closed and it was farish away. It's just like, oh my god, I don't know what it was that broke him, but it was very funny.
It was that moment.
But yeah, he stopped playing after that.
Yeah,
just all games,
fair.
Which is a shame because he used to be quite good at games, especially in his childhood. Like he had, like, in arcade machines, he had the top scores in his town and stuff. So
I think everyone hits a point with something where they think and then find something else they enjoy doing more.
Missed the train? Yes. The Hogwarts Express left 5 minutes.
What? We're still in what?
But why is Ginny? How did Ginny get? How did Laugh sit? What?
I don't understand. We're not even what? Literally, no one is listening to him.
I like this because this is listening to that cutscene is like listening to every cutscene in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
In what sense?
Nope. In the sense that everyone talks over everyone else.
I see. I don't know.
Where it's like,
Oh my god, I think this is what Sonic says. Like, I don't know anything about you, not even your name. Like, that phrase has been circling my head for days. And I've not fucking played that battle before, or really seen it recently. So I don't know why it's in my head. But
What's this
goddamn. Huh?
what's that one from?
It's when he first sees Shadow, isn't it?
He's like, you're not even good enough to.
Yeah, but
Huh?
Sonic says something.
All right, yeah, he says, I'll make you eat those words.
I don't know. I thought he said something else. Maybe it's not just Shadow. Maybe it's another
Maybe I
scene.
should find
But I don't know
one
why. I've
and
not
go to
played it.
Hogwarts.
I don't know why it's in my head.